What is up, True Crime World? You're here with Luminol on the Wall. I'm Becky.
And I'm Bevy. How is it going, sister?
Oh, like so much better that you're here with me.
I know, you always miss me so much. And I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
No.
Cue hair swish.
Oh, Bevy.
Of course you miss me, darling.
Of course. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's funny because you were just at my house and you literally left and then we met up on the computer.
To podcast.
We just can't get enough of each other.
That's right.
Because I had been away for like a week, you guys.
A whole week.
Because I was in Vancouver with my husband and my baby.
Yes. If you listened last week, you already knew this.
Oh, well. I didn't listen to it. I was a little
Beverly,
preoccupied.
I even said, hey, Bev, go listen to it while you're driving 12 flipping hours.
I know, but here, now this is a good segue into my crazy story. Did you tell everyone about my cars?
No, I thought I'd let you.
Okay, awesome. Well, the car we were in on our trip, Becky, after you had recorded the podcast, doesn't have Bluetooth. And there was also like no coverage for my Bluetooth speaker. Like on Spotify, I could barely get my downloaded songs to play.
Oh, annoying.
Yes, and did you hear that right, guys? I had a Bluetooth speaker in my car because our one car that we just got from Craig's dad is ancient. It's like 12 or 13 years old.
It's 09, guys.
Okay. Yeah. Exactly. It's 09. It's like, yeah.
Ancient. Yeah.
Anyway, so
do you even
this
have
is
power
what
windows?
happened. Yeah.
Just checking.
I feel like that's mandatory, Becky. Car windows?
I said power windows.
Oh.
Obviously, the car has windows.
There's a delay. There's a delay over the computer, guys. Don't judge me. No, okay, so, but yes, it does have power windows.
Okay,
I was like,
checking.
Is she making a dumb joke? Like, obviously cars have windows. I'm so confused. Anyways, okay, so this is the point. The reason how we got to this point of taking this vehicle in the first place is because we were going to take our other vehicle that is a couple years old, like newer than that one. And it's more spacious, has Bluetooth. So nice.
Pimp and ride?
Yeah. We drive it, we leave, we get about 2.5 hours away. So we're in Lake Louise. You know, we take a cute little selfie with the family, with the mountains behind us, get in the car, we go to back up and we hear this god-awful screeching sound. And I literally think we're dragging something behind the tires. Like, I'm like, oh my God, like, what the hell? So we get out, we look, there's nothing there. We're like, So we try again. Come to find out, our rear brakes are completely fucked. So we make the unfortunate decision to drive our asses home. And we're like, are we going to go on this vacation to Vancouver? I don't know. Just a heads up, guys, it's a like 11-hour drive. So yeah, we were kind of contemplating our life choices at this moment. We decide we're committing to this, so we're going to take the other vehicle. That's what we're going to do. So we do that. We pack everything in there, and the next morning we leave. And we get to about Sicamous, which is about 6 hours away. No. About 4 or 5 hours away from home. When all of a sudden, we hear our muffler all of a sudden get so loud when Craig hits the gas. It's like, and we're like, holy shit, my ears are popping in the back seat. No word of a lie. Okay, we're like, what the fuck? We pull over. Craig takes a look. He sees that the catalytic converter is separated from the muffler. So we're like, holy fuck, that's bad. Okay, we gotta figure this out. We're going to just drive now with this loud ass noise, at least to Kamloops, which is about 2 hours away at this point, where our hotel is. So we're like, okay, that's fine. Colson's screaming. He's hungry. So we pull off to the side of the road again. And we feed him. We do all this stuff. We're ready to get back on the road. And we go to back up. And we hear... and we're like, wait, what is that? Craig goes, looks under the vehicle again. Our whole catalytic converter is dragging on the ground.
Which, by the way, Beth was like showing me her photos from this trip. And she's scrolling through and she's like, oh, that's when our catalytic converter fell off. And she's standing there taking a selfie. Like, she looks so happy, surprisingly. And Craig's like under the car and she's off in the distance like, hey there! For such a like unfortunate time and like annoying moment in your life, it was like a funny photo.
Gotta commemorate some stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways, I go to this random guy's house that's like a little bit away, and I get basically like a dog leash. And he allows me. He's like this like older gentleman, so sweet. And anyways, I found this little dog leash in his shed. He allows me to take it. Craig can somehow like wrap the catalytic converter up and tie it around with his dog leash so that it stays off the ground. And we're just praying to God that by the time we get to Kamloops, where we have called a mechanic, by the way, that it doesn't fall off. So we do this. We get all the way to Kamloops, and the address on Google for our mechanic takes us to the middle of an intersection. And we're like, the fuck? And so we call him, and he gives us another address. And we go to it, and we pull up to a residential area. Pull up. This guy's working out of his van. He's got like ash all over his face, like I'm sure from working on vehicles, or like black, like whatever you would get from vehicles on your face. And he's got a cigarette hanging out of his mouth, got a couple broken down cars in his like garage, and we're just like,
hello?
What's going on? Because we thought we were going to a mechanic shop. Anyways, he does a great job. He welds that shit back together, even puts a sleeve on it, and our car was able to get us all the way back to Vancouver and back home without a hitch after that. But yeah.
Wow.
What a story.
That is a story and a half.
Yeah.
Thank God for that guy and his mobile service.
I know, because it was also a long weekend, and we were like, what are we going to do? We have our 4-month-old in the back. Like, we were stressed.
Yeah, like, what shops are going to be open?
Yeah.
It was a Sunday to boot?
Yeah, it was. And we got to Kamloops around like 7:30, 7:45 in that evening. So, bless that guy's heart, man.
He was an angel.
He was.
He was your guardian angel.
Yeah, I didn't even know, like, mobile mechanic shops existed.
It's okay. You know what? I saw a mobile dentist shop.
Where?
Literally in my neighborhood.
No way, Becky.
Yeah, it was a van. I'm 90%.
Those vans are good for mobile.
Anything,
businesses.
Apparently. Yeah. I'm 90% sure it was for humans and not dogs, too.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. So, you need a good business idea? Just get a van. Figure something out. You'll figure it out.
Yo, people are just tired of working for the man.
Fuck the man.
Which is such a,
kidding.
That's such a sexist, saying. Working for the man. That shouldn't be a thing anymore.
Working for the boss. Working for the boss.
Yeah, it's got to be working for the boss.
That's right.
But people are tired of it. And I don't blame people. It's tough sometimes, you know?
Yeah. Some bosses are assholes. That's why they made the movie Horrible Bosses.
Because they exist. Hopefully all of you guys have great bosses and you just love your jobs. Hopefully. I mean, I do wish that for everyone, but
yeah, we want that.
Doubtful. Just not even just kidding. I'm probably pretty doubtful.
Right? We're just working for a living. Everybody's working for the weekend.
Hey, Becky, you don't work for a boss, so that's nice.
I'm my own boss, bitches.
Yeah, that's right. Now you just need to purchase a van. Because apparently it's the way to go. Have a massage parlor in the back of a van.
Roll up to I don't know, like a CrossFit and be like, hey there, looks like you need my services.
Don't say it like that. You could roll up and be like, hey there, it looks like you need my services. Just kidding. Don't do that.
No,
don't do that.
Yeah. All
that
jokes
might
aside,
give off the wrong impression.
Yeah, all jokes aside, I'm actually a professional and I take my job very seriously and I do not set out to creep anyone out.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
You're good at what you do.
It was just a pure fucking joke, okay?
Yeah, that was a joke.
Yeah, let's be real.
Of course.
You know what? As a massage therapist, I've heard all the jokes in the world, Bev, so I feel like I can make those jokes.
Hell yeah, you can.
Yeah, I can make all the jokes.
We're fucking around. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, we're professionals.
Becky's a professional. Okay, we digress.
For 10 minutes. We're sorry.
Yeah, but not really, because that was a crazy story.
Yeah.
Anyways. So let's get into the case.
Yeah.
All right. Well, today's case takes us to New York City.
The Big Apple.
That's right. But before we get into it, we're going to just take a look at the man in the center of it all. His name was Fahim Saleh. He was born in 1986 in Mecca, Saudi Arabia, to Bangladeshi immigrant parents, Ahmed and Rayana. In 1991, the family moved to Louisiana and then ultimately settled in Rochester, New York, as Fahim's father was pursuing a PhD in computer science. And from a young age, Fahim was himself a tech prodigy. Friends recall how he would take apart any toy he received to see how it was built, and by middle school, he was already programming and launching simple businesses. In 2009, after graduating from Bentley University in Massachusetts with a degree in computer information systems, he launched PrankDial, an internet prank calling service that has since earned more than $10 million.
Who knew pranks were so, I don't know. There
profitable?
Was so much money. Yeah, thank you. That is the word. Yeah,
who
knew? I mean,
Becky,
Ashton Kutcher,
like literally, and okay, you just aged the shit out of yourself, but like all those famous TikTok stars, too.
Oh, yeah.
Tons of money pranking people.
Yeah.
It's a lucrative business.
Lucrative.
Becky's like, Ashton Kutcher. Was that on MTV or what?
Yeah, I think so.
Whoa.
No, I'm not in my 30s. No.
That was funny. Holy shit. So anyways, he's making a ton of money. Or his businesses are. I don't know how much that actually equates to him making personally. But anyways, Fahim ends up getting his big break into the startup world when he turned his attention to ride sharing in developing countries. In 2015, he co-founded Patheo, a Bangladesh-based app offering motorcycle taxi, courier, and delivery services. And by 2019, Patheo was valued at over $100 million. As Patheo's co-founder, Hussein Elias, later recalled, Fahim believed in the potential for technology to transform lives in Bangladesh and beyond, even acting as Patheo's first angel investor and guiding the team's vision. Okay, so angel investor, I didn't quite know what it was. I mean, I feel like the term kind of is a little bit like self-explanatory in a sense, like you can kind of guess what it is. But if you guys have ever seen Shark Tank, it's basically rich people who invest in a company and in return get equity in the company. So that's what it is.
Right. So you help a little startup business, gain a little equity.
Exactly. And if you think of it, Fahim is doing that. So he obviously is worth a lot of money at this point, hey?
He got some dollars floating around.
There you go. In addition to Fahim being an angel investor, in Nigeria, he launched Gokada in the year 2018, which was a motorbike hailing and delivery platform. Although Gokada later faced some setbacks because Lagos banned motorcycles early in 2020, it was widely used in Lagos and at one point reached a $150 million valuation. $150 million. My God. So by early 2020, Fahim was splitting his time between New York, Dhaka, and Lagos. He had also invested in other startups from Bangladesh's JoBike and Jatri to Colombia's PCAP and Movo, always searching for new tech opportunities in emerging markets. And by mid-2020, Fahim was a celebrated tech figure with a home on New York's Lower East Side. The world knew him as a serial entrepreneur and backer of tech talent. But nobody could ever guess the horror that awaited him at home that July.
I was going to say, normally we talk about a different type of serial, you know?
I know.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing, Becky.
Yeah. He's a serial entrepreneur. That's a good kind of cereal, let's be real.
Yeah, that's a good kind of cereal.
And Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I was going to say multi-grain Cheerios.
What? Screw off, Bev. Multi-grain Cheerios.
Yeah.
I mean, they're great. But like, I just came out with Cinnamon Toast Crunch and you're like, yeah, multi-grain. Like, get out of here.
Don't hate, you little witch. Don't hate on it. Have you ever had it?
Yeah. I just said they're great. Like, they are, but like, it's like apples to oranges. Multi-grain Cheerios compared to Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Like, Bevy. You get what I'm throwing down.
No, I am completely baffled and confused as to what you're insinuating, actually.
No, I know you know by your tone.
No,
know. You're trying to prove a point. Like, multigrain are so good.
They are.
Yeah, okay.
They're my favorite type of cereal.
Yeah, they are. But...
Okay.
We're moving on.
I get your point.
Thank you. I knew you did.
I do.
Yeah.
But if I were to then give you a cereal that was like in line with that, I would say Captain Crunch is the shiznit.
So you totally got what I was throwing down right from the get-go. Thank you.
Yeah, I did.
Jesus, Beth.
What's your favorite sugared cereal? That's what you were trying to say. Sugar is better than healthy-ish.
Whoa. I did not say that.
Wow.
I did not say that. I like fiber. Fiber is great. Okay? I can get on board with fiber, but you can't compare the two. They're not in the same league.
It just depends on your preferences. It's like you like sugared peanut butter, and I truly prefer natural peanut butter with less sugar. The taste. Like, it doesn't even compare to the sugared peanut butter. Like, I will die on that hill.
The, like, sugary stuff has, like, 1 gram of sugar in it. Do you know that? It's 1 gram difference. So, yeah, I like to spread my peanut butter. I will accept 1 gram of sugar so I can easily spread my peanut butter.
Becky. Okay. We could just go on forever.
We could.
And this sister chat, we put a pin in it, okay?
Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
We'll agree to disagree on this one, okay?
That's all we can do.
But the last thing I will say is I'm right and you're wrong.
God damn it.
So, let's go and talk about that July, where Fahim would encounter a horrible evil. So, it was July 13th, 2020, and Fahim followed his usual routine. Surveillance video shows him returning home around 1:40 p.m. from a run in the city. However, before Fahim arrived home, surveillance video captured an individual sneaking into the residence behind another resident who was dressed in a dark 3-piece suit with mask and gloves. Cameras captured the man entering the elevator behind Fahim. And while in the elevator, they exchanged words, casually talking in the elevator. It would seem as though it was just 2 men making small talk on the way up to the 7th floor, which was Fahim's floor, just so you know. And in the footage, you can even see this man dressed in black carrying a duffel bag. When they reach the 7th floor and Fahim steps out of the elevator, his life was unfortunately cut short. The man cloaked in black sharing the elevator with Fahim stunned him with a high-voltage taser from behind, causing Fahim to collapse. And in one horrified instant, Fahim was on the floor and helpless. Then, the man pulled out a knife and stabbed Fahim multiple times in the neck and the torso, the fatal blows ending the entrepreneur's life. The medical examiner did later confirm that Fahim died of those multiple stab wounds to the neck and chest. It was also noted that Fahim's left hand had defensive wounds, indicating that he did try to fight back. But in that moment, the attack was over before it truly began. Now, the morning after Fahim being attacked and brutally murdered in his condo, an anxious family member checked on him. His cousin arrived at his apartment because Fahim had not been heard from in about 24 hours. And when the cousin stepped inside the Lower East Side condo, what she saw was absolutely horrific. She found Fahim's body dismembered, decapitated when she walked in. And upon seeing this, she immediately called the police.
Yeah, no kidding. Like, that's so brutal.
That's like the worst it can get, right? Like, holy shit. So when police officers arrived on scene that afternoon, they were met with the same horrific scene that Fahim's cousin saw. All of Fahim's body parts, his head, arms, legs, were found dispersed at the scene. A bloodless torso lay where Fahim was stabbed. They also saw a plugged-in saw and bottles of cleaning agents, which told them that someone had tried to erase traces of this crime. The NYPD rushed in, sealing off the crime scene at 265 Houston Street and began a homicide investigation.
You know what it kind of seems like, Bev? It, like, considering, like, the rest of the crime scene was so clean, and then just to, like, leave body parts, it almost seems like it got, like, interrupted or the person wasn't done doing what they set out to do.
Ah, like his cousin kind of interrupted the whole cleanup process.
Yeah, because, like, why go through that whole process but then leave everything just laying there?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
Like, you would think they would get rid of the body completely, right? To completely erase the crime that happened, but no.
It's just there.
Just his decapitated, dismembered body laying there.
No big deal.
Yeah. No, that's totally what it seems like. I mean, his cousin did come the following day, right? It was pretty quick. And I could only assume that dismembering a body completely and, like, cleaning up a crime scene or attempting to meticulously clean up a crime scene that was that horrific and surely bloody would take a very long time, right?
Yeah.
So if his cousin walks in not only, like, maybe not even 24 hours after Fahim is murdered, yeah, like, she could have very well interrupted the cleanup process.
Mm-hmm.
Which is so fucking eerie.
Ugh. That would, like, give me the heebie-jeebies for life. Bev. Like, for life.
Oh, yeah. Permanently scarred.
Yeah. Permanently scarred. For many reasons, but, like, thinking I may have interrupted a horrendous crime, like, ugh. Even worse than finding the body.
It's just scary, right? Because, like, you never know. Like, your thoughts would be like, what if that murderer that did this to my cousin was, like, walking in the doors behind me, saw me go up and did a U-turn, you know? Like, who knows?
Right? Or what if you had walked in on the person? Where could you have been?
Yeah, exactly.
Fate, right?
No, it's totally a scary thought, right?
Poor cousin.
Yeah, that is messed right up. So, almost immediately, police actually identified a person of interest, and that was Fahim's former assistant, named Tyrese Haspel. Tyrese was 21 at the time and had been Fahim's right-hand man and confidant for nearly 2 years. So in 2018, Fahim had hired Tyrese as an entrepreneurial assistant when he needed someone tech-savvy to handle errands and finances for his ever-expanding businesses. And Tyrese was a Long Island kid who looked the part. He was a straight-A student, track athlete, always well-dressed in button-downs and glasses. He'd even held the role of chief of staff in emails and took to posting as if he were in charge. But behind his charm, people would later say there were some red flags about him. Friends of his and family painted a picture of a troubled youth. According to Tyrese's aunt, his mother had been committed to a psychiatric institution when he was very young, and Tyrese spent his childhood bouncing among relatives and foster homes. Neighbors recalled him as a quiet and smart, but sometimes insolent and prone to getting his way. So by the time he met Fahim in high school through a Future Business Leaders of America competition, Tyrese was already running a small snack business and acing web design contests. So he's very accomplished.
Right.
And Fahim admired him. Hussein Elias, if we remember, was the co-founder to one of Fahim's businesses with him, said Fahim had seen himself in the ambitious Tyrese and took him under his wing, giving him keys and responsibilities. And over the next 2 years, Tyrese lived a double life. When Fahim was abroad for Patheo or Gokada, Tyrese often posted glamorous pictures to Instagram, flaunting gifts and dinners that were secretly funded by stolen cash. He even brazenly impersonated Fahim online, treating his boss's dog Layla as his own pet. But at work, his performance was slipping. In late 2018 and early 2019, multiple associates noticed gaps and delays in financial reports that Tyrese was responsible for. One portfolio manager, Mehdi Hassan, discovered large sums, thousands of dollars, disappearing from accounts into suspicious bank transfers, all tracing back to Tyrese. And by spring of 2019, Fahim caught on. He confronted Tyrese about $35,000 that was missing. But instead of calling the police, Fahim offered his protege a second chance, a repayment plan, believing Tyrese was a good person and didn't deserve to have this mistake define him, as a friend recalled. And Tyrese signed a deal to pay back the stolen money, and Fahim let him go quietly. And then Tyrese officially resigned in May of 2019, although prosecutors say he continued to siphon money out of a hidden PayPal scheme, taking it from hundreds of thousands, eventually about $400,000.
Oh my God. That's so much money.
$400,000, yeah, like almost $500,000.
Oh my God. And like, I feel like Tyrese had a pretty good gig working for Fahim. Like his personal assistant to like multi-million-dollar companies. Like, I don't know how much he was making, but like, it wasn't minimum wage, I bet. You know, he's probably taken care of.
100%.
Like,
I just think it like goes to show that like that type of devious behavior and like manipulative scheming type behavior is kind of like pathological, you know? Like, I don't think it just stops once you get caught. Like, there's a reason that that person's doing that. And I think it's a little deeper than just like surface level shit. Like, oh, slap on the wrist, like move on. We're letting you go, but I believe in you. Like, that person isn't going to learn from that. Like, it's deeper. They're going to continue. It's like a pattern, a way of living almost, a way of being. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's wild.
So it doesn't surprise me that he continued to siphon money out of a hidden PayPal like account.
I mean, I hear what you're saying, but it shocks the hell out of me. If I got caught for a crime myself and someone just gave me a little slap on the wrist, you bet your ass I'd never do it again. Be like,
yeah,
oh my God, I got so lucky.
But saying that, Becky, you're not the type of person that would ever do that.
You're right. I wouldn't have done it in the first place.
right? So the people who are willing to do that, I think that's why I just think it's like pathological. Fair. I know, like an innocent little brain like yours. Yeah.
Walk away with the slap on a wrist.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh my God.
Repay the money.
I did that.
Oh my God, yes, I'll pay it back.
Forgive me.
Please.
But yeah, fucked up.
Jesus.
So authorities would eventually say that those unpaid debts are what would set in the motion of the motive behind killing Fahim. Hence the reason he was a person of interest.
Right. Doesn't that just seem like a slap to the face, though, Bev? Like, I just, like, stole so much money from you, and then I'm gonna, like, just kill you to cover it up. Like, I know that's a very common motive. Like, greed, and then killing to cover that up. But, like, what a slap to the face. Like, he just was so kind to you, so showed you, like, so much kindness.
And grace, yeah.
And grace, you're right. And
so here's an interesting thought. Do you think that he did it because he didn't want to get caught or, like, was greedy? Or do you think he was angry? Because I personally think it was, like, anger for making him resign. Because he still continued to get money, right?
I mean, that's a good question. Because, like, even if you killed Fahim, other people have access to that information. And surely someone else out there knows what you've done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, you'd have to kill so many people to truly cover that up.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's a good question. Was it just him angry? Greed?
I think so. I think it was, like, humiliation to be asked to resign. And, like, if you have a big ego, that's a huge hit to your ego. And, yeah, I think it was more revenge than greed, to be honest.
Payback.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
So with a clear person of interest and an obvious homicide, days after the murder, the NYPD's investigation moved very fast. Detectives scoured the apartment's hard drives and found surveillance video from the building. They soon identified the masked man in the elevator as Tyrese Haspel. I mean, the pieces fit. Haspel's fingerprints were on the trash bags. And credit card records showed he had gone to Home Depot to buy the saw and bags. Investigators also discovered that on July 13th, Tyrese had left his own car and grabbed the first rideshare out, which appeared to take him to a suburban home in Hopewell Junction, New York. An abandoned residence Tyrese had once used, and police speculated that it was possibly an area that he wanted to stage as the crime scene. But obviously we know that his crime seems to have been interrupted and, like, half the cleanup was, like, half done. So you never know. It's just if that abandoned residence was going to be a staged crime scene, but it's what the police speculated at the very least.
Right. I mean, that makes sense because, like, if you have this crime scene in his home and you find his body, that tells a whole different story than if you found, like, maybe some body parts or his whole body at some, like, random abandoned home. It would tell a whole other story.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So I can see how they might speculate that that would be what his intentions would have been if Fahim's cousin hadn't came looking for him so quickly.
Right. Exactly. So by July 17th, just like a week after the crime had taken place, the police already had an arrest warrant for Tyrese, who had actually fled Manhattan with his girlfriend, Marina, using a fraudulent name. But even his attempts at deception kind of fell flat because obviously police were able to trace him, and they traced him to a $18,000 a month Airbnb in Soho, where he had celebrated his girlfriend's 22nd birthday after the murder.
Oh my God. How could you go and, like, have a celebration like that after doing what you did?
No doubt.
Like,
you have to be diabolical. Come on now.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Also, like, what an expensive Airbnb. Are you using your stolen cash to fund that, sir?
He's like, yes, I for sure am.
That's wild, hey?
Yeah. Ugh.
So once the NYPD locates him, they quietly surround the Airbnb, and Tyrese was arrested without incident that morning. Sitting handcuffed, he learned that he had been charged with first-degree murder. Authorities announced that they believed Tyrese had followed Fahim into the elevator on July 13th and stabbed him to death in a moment of ultimate betrayal. And a post-arrest search of Tyrese's internet history found searches like dismembered body and Fahim, which was just an eerie confirmation of what police already knew. And Tyrese was held without bail and pleaded not guilty at his arraignment. Now, during the investigation, there wasn't very much information that was leaked. However, some details did get through. And some of those details were that when Tyrese fled the scene of the crime, he had apparently been carrying the half-dismembered carcass in a bag and went to dispose of evidence. Apparently, he drove a lift to a dumpster in the Bronx to dump cleaning cloths and even returned to the crime scene to finish cutting Fahim's body apart, but had to stop once his saw battery died. As well, inside the condo, detectives found traces of yellow foam from the taser's auto ID disc, which, if you guys don't know, when someone shoots someone with a taser, like apparently a bunch of these like confetti-like pieces come out, and they all have like the serial ID identification marker of that specific taser. So in this case, Tyrese tried to vacuum it all up, but one small piece was left over at the crime scene, and the detectives found it. So they were able to identify the taser. They also found plastic wrap that was saturated with blood. So all told, police painted Tyrese as calculating, murdering his boss to hide a crime, then immediately disguising it as a professional hit. So I think this is where like the meticulous cleaning of the apartment, all the cleaning supplies came into play, as well as that abandoned home.
Right. Trying to make it seem like something it wasn't.
Exactly.
And that he wouldn't have been a part of.
Right. Like some rich guy who had a professional hit on him, maybe for his money or what have you, right? Like it might make sense.
Yeah. For sure.
It
can happen.
It can happen. If he were to have done it properly or not been caught in the middle of his, like, you know, attempt here.
Deed. Yeah. Yeah, maybe it would have, like, they might have not zoned in on him right away.
Maybe not, like, immediately, but I feel like there was enough. Like, he left, well, I mean, like, the taser serial identifier, you know, like his fingerprints. I mean, there was other evidence.
But if he had been able to clean it all up, like if he had been stopped.
True that, Becky. You never know.
Yeah. However, if they, you know, they did some digging and found out his shady ways with the stealing of the huge amount of funds, and they probably would have been like, hello, you have like the biggest motive to kill him because he's actually known as like a wonderful human being.
Yeah.
And no one else would have that motive to kill him other than you, sir.
Yeah, like I feel like it was going to happen no matter what. So we're kind of talking as though he has already done it, you know. I mean, the evidence is pretty overwhelming at this point, and who knows if he would have been successful or not. We don't know. But Tyrese's family actually offered their own perspective, which, shocking, is different than ours and the police's. In interviews, his Aunt Marjorie described him as quiet and nonviolent, arguing that the brutal murder just didn't fit the boy that she knew. And Tyrese's then girlfriend, Marina, also defended him. She told reporters, "I know him as a person. He hates conflict and he's so nice to people. He would never hurt a fly." She was also maintaining that he was incapable of such violence. But for prosecutors, the motive was very clear, and the evidence, as I said, overwhelming. As District Attorney Alvin Bragg would later say, Tyrese brutally murdered and decapitated Fahim, after stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars from him.
That would be wild, though, to know that someone you love and care about has committed these terrible, heinous acts. You'd be like, that just doesn't fit the person I know. Like, it would mess with your mind, right?
It would, yeah. Unfortunately, I think people who are capable of that kind of stuff, like, just as Tyrese was, like, are very capable of living a double life. Like, you would never know.
Yeah, you would never know.
Right? I just think people's sinful, devious ways often go unnoticed or are masked by charm, wit, intelligence. Like, that so often happens. So,
oh yeah,
it doesn't shock me that his family and his girlfriend like didn't know him like that. So, anyways, the case ends up proceeding to trial more than 3 years after the killing, and just last year, in June 2024, Tyrese finally stood before a New York State Supreme Court jury. And prosecutors summarized Tyrese's motive bluntly. Fahim found out Tyrese had stolen from him. Afraid that Fahim would testify about the theft, Tyrese spent months plotting to murder him. In fact, court filings revealed that in 2020, Tyrese researched murder methods. He tracked Fahim's runs on social media, bought a generator and contractor bags, and even scouted a vacant apartment across the street to install a security camera. He followed Fahim abroad, even to Lagos, with a knife, and considered other plots like burning down Fahim's country home. In early July 2020, Tyrese quietly began assembling tools, a power saw and cleaning supplies, and on June 17th, concrete signs that he intended something horrific. Prosecutors had ultimately effectively laid out the months-long plot. Financial records showing Tyrese's embezzlement schemes, surveillance video of the killing itself, and even the Home Depot receipts and web searches from the days after the murder. On the other hand, the defense painted Tyrese in a kinder light, as they have to. They painted him as a troubled young man who had made mistakes, but in the end, the jury saw the pattern of theft and murder clear as day. You know what's funny? It's like the defense, they just paint him as a troubled young man who made mistakes. Like,
oh, did you make mistakes? Oh, did you make a serious mistake? Did you kill someone, embezzle hundreds of thousands of dollars? Oh, Bev, what a mistake. Oh, I'm so sorry for this mistake.
Yeah, he was just a troubled man. He made some, like, minor mistakes. Like,
I didn't understand the gravity. My mistake? Fuck off.
Right?
Like, what?
That is, like, the understatement of the goddamn year, Rebecca.
Yeah, that's wild. Oh, my God.
That's nuts, bro.
He's just a little trouble, but, you know, good kid who just kills people. No biggie.
Oh. No, I just dismembered, decapitated, stole money, but, like, those are just mistakes of a troubled young man. Just mistakes.
My God. Could you imagine being the jury sitting there and be like, mistakes?
Yeah, they saw through it. Clear.
Oh, okay. Mistakes, sure. Oh, my God.
You're like, well, you're not wrong. Like, he did make mistakes. He was troubled, but, I mean, there's a little more to that than just
a little more. More like a calculated mistake.
Yeah, no doubt. Haha. I like that, Becky. Yeah. Calculated. Nice. So on June 24th, 2024, the jury found Tyrese Haspel guilty on all counts. He was convicted of first-degree murder, 2 counts of grand larceny, burglary, and concealing a corpse, among other charges. The verdict sent a message that the grisly killing of a visionary CEO wouldn't be overlooked, and Fahim's family, who had largely stayed out of the spotlight during the trial, expressed relief hearing this. In court, District Attorney Bragg called Fahim kind, generous, and empathetic, and noted that even after Tyree stole from him, that he had given him a second chance. The sentencing ultimately came down on September 10th, 2024. In a New York courtroom, the judge described the murder as brutally chilling and gave Tyrese 40 years to life in prison.
Nice.
Incredibly, Becky, Tyrese himself stepped forward at that time and told the judge he agreed, that he wanted a life sentence to make things right. He said through a quiet, barely audible voice that anything less would be insufficient for the suffering he caused.
Oh, you don't hear that every day, do you?
Right?
That's like someone who's like, okay, I've thought about my mistake. And maybe it's a little bit more than just oopsie.
I mean, I think when you betray someone who treated you so kindly and like you ultimately know, like he had months, a couple months at least to, well, like a month, a little more than a month to kind of contemplate the fact that like you were just found guilty of this. Like there's no more running from the fact that you did this. There's no more deception you could possibly, show or try to achieve that could take you away from like reaping the consequences of your actions. So I think once you get that, then it's like, okay, well, now I can kind of reflect on what actually just happened. And like I betrayed someone that was so kind to me and believed in me. And maybe that's when it hit home to him. I don't know, but kind of crazy, hey?
Yeah. Yeah.
So either way, Tyrese will spend the rest of his life behind bars. And in a solemn and kind of grim way, I mean, justice has been served in this case. But doesn't take away the fact that Fahim is no longer with us. So
that's the truth. But 40 years, I think we can walk away from this podcast being like, the justice system did good by Fahim.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people that were impacted by Fahim also did right by him. Because in the days and weeks after his death, the tech communities in Bangladesh and Nigeria held vigils and memorials for him. And in Dhaka, the Venture Capital and Private Equity Association organized a virtual commemoration for the young entrepreneur. Government ministers and startup leaders took to microphones. Bangladesh's ICT State Minister Zunaid Palak lamented that the country had lost a very talented young entrepreneur. And another official called Fahim an icon for our upcoming young generation of entrepreneurs. And VCP EAB Chairman Shahim Ahsan praised Fahim as a shining example and true entrepreneur who shaped how we view startups, adding that the void left by his passing could not easily be filled. As well, Patheo's Hussein Elias, clearly shaken, said Fahim had seen the potential in the team when Patheo was just an idea and called him a true builder of ideas and people. In Nigeria, Gokada's employees also mourned. The company's official statement read, Fahim was a great leader, inspiration and positive light for all of us. Fahim's vision and belief in us will be with us forever and we will miss him dearly. Nigerian tech executives echoed the sentiment. Muyiwa Mataluko of TechPoint Africa reacted in disbelief, calling the news crazy. Others took to social media, grieving that one of their own, a young, passionate entrepreneur dedicated to empowering Nigerian youth, had been cut down so senselessly.
It really just shows his like outreach in the world.
Yeah, and I think like the clear sentiment behind all of it is just like his belief in people and how inspiring that was for everyone and probably how it changed a lot of their lives. So, I don't know. I think that's pretty beautiful.
For sure.
And of course, for those who knew Fahim personally, the loss is deeply personal. His sister Ruby, who first spoke to the press about the crime, tearfully implored listeners to cherish their loved ones, saying, if you are someone's sister or brother, the next time you see your sibling, hug them as tightly as you can. Ruby described Fahim as kind, goofy, excited about life. A man taken too soon in the most cruel way. And friends who survived the harrowing day said that the great tragedy is that his story was cut short and that they will never get to see his true potential.
Man, hey. I just feel like so sad about this, and not like, I feel sad about like all of our cases, but like, it's like, I feel like I'm lost for words, Bev, but like his outreach, like I said, was so great, and he impacted so many people that when he died, like there was a loss, not just to like his loved ones, but a huge loss to big communities and like
all over the world.
Yeah. And if he had like continued to live, what else could he have done to change the world and, you know, make advancements in the tech industry that could have, I don't know, maybe I'm reaching, but like save lives or change people's lives?
I don't think it's too far of a reach, right?
Yeah.
Like he funded startup companies. So I think he made people's dreams come true in a large sense. So I think it's definitely possible he could have changed more people's lives.
Yeah. And I feel like really sad about that because, you know, there's a lot of horrible people out there and he is not one of them. And so to lose, you know, an awesome person, it's just like so devastating to the world, you know?
Yeah. I agree.
Sad.
I feel like he was just kind of his grace and goodness was like taken advantage of by a greedy person, you know? Not just greedy, but just like not very great person.
Yeah.
It just sucks.
Yeah. And like I said earlier, like if he was killing Fahim to like, so that he wouldn't testify against him or, you know, so that there wouldn't be any evidence of his stealing, it's like there were other people that knew about it. Your crime was virtually senseless.
Totally senseless.
Because it didn't even accomplish what you wanted.
Yeah.
You know?
I think often, though, like, a lot of these murders and murderers, like, their logic is senseless. So I think almost all of these crimes are just senseless, you know?
For sure. And they're not thought out well. So.
Nope.
How terrible. But at least he's in prison, so he can't hurt anyone else. He can't steal from anyone. And justice was served, Bev.
Damn straight. Well, Becky, thanks for listening.
Thanks for sharing.
And just your weekly reminder to download our weekly episodes, follow us on Spotify or Apple Music or whatever streaming platform you listen to us on, and give us a follow on our social medias. You can find us at Luminol on the Wall. Can't wait till next week.